Welcome to Rockingham in the United Kingdom for race number 19 of the Part-Timer Series. We are here for 34 laps of racing for the Subway 300. Father and son on the front row, Eric Powers getting the pole and Mason Powers starting beside him in second. Ryan Kesey and Philip Tringali in row 2, Connor Breton, Chris Crandall row 3, Henry Cavanaugh, Mason Jefferson row 4, and Jordan Newman and Paul Sedina in row 5. Points leader Sam Rogers starting in 11th. He currently has a 20-point lead over second in points, and he could end up winning the Part-Timers Championship, though he doesn't really need to since he's already been confirmed a full-time ride next season since he won Road America. I forget who second in points is, but I guess you guys will find out at the end of the video. So this will probably be one of the longest part-timer races. This is one of the longer ones for a while, and it won't be the last long one as we get you to the green flag. Getting ready to go green as the drivers go through turn number 3. This is a 4-turn course, and a 1.5 mile 4-turn course at that. See how these drivers get to handle this course, and what we see in the part-timers race could foreshadow the cup race. Anyway, Eric Powers and Mason Powers leading it, coming off of turn 4. Eric Powers high in the points right now. Green flag is out. The Subway 300 is on the way. Eric Powers taking the lead. Mason Powers getting let in right away. So Eric Powers leading now. Ryan Kesey straight into third as Mason Powers is looking for the lead on his father, and they are side by side for the race lead. Eric Powers getting an edge on the high side. Turn 4 is going to probably be one of those turns, and Eric Powers will lead lap 1. Mason Powers not giving up though, but he'll settle into second, and Connor Breton almost wrecked Ryan Kesey, and I saw the same for Mason Jefferson and Chris Crandall. Oh, and then Mason Powers just turned around. Mason Jefferson will be involved. And those two are done. And now Sheila Sullivan and Emerson Arden getting involved, and I'm not surprised. They're freaking crazy. 3 wide up here. Leading it back to the line will be Eric Powers, and I'm curious how that happened. But 4 drivers are done now. And we are only 2 laps into this race. Top 3, Tyler Markle. Sam Rogers all the way up to second already. So let's see what caused our first caution of the day. Here's what happened. Mason Powers is looking, and Eric Powers gets loose. Mason Powers is going to come up, and Eric Powers bounces off the wall and gets into the 8 car, and that's just going to spin him around. And then we saw Mason Jefferson had nowhere to go, and I'm wondering, this is how Sam Rogers got all the way up to the front. He just dived below everybody. So now what happened to the 53? Oh, the 66 just came right into the 53, and they had nowhere to go. And there's how Eric Caralla got his side damage. It's just a tough break for those 4 drivers. So let's get you to the restart. Getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Drivers out of the race. Sheila Sullivan, Emerson Arden, Mason Powers, Mason Jefferson, and Brenda Rogers. Eric Powers fell from leading all the way to 13th after they pit. Your top 3 are Tyler Markle, Max Newworth, and Ryan Kesey. 4th, Connor Breton. 5th is Jordan Newman. Sam Rogers drops to 6th. Danny Vaughn in 7th. Philip Tringali 8th. Paul Sedina 9th. And Robert Rogers in 10th as we get ready to go back racing. 28 laps left in the Subway 300. And I'm going to guess they might not keep it green because considering the way they wrecked, was racing for the lead with 2 drivers, turn 2 might be a turn to watch out for. Ryan Kesey showing some speed. But Sam Rogers has had the fastest lap, and did they wreck? Yep, they already wrecked again. Max Newworth looking for the lead. Tyler Markle with the outside run. And Tyler Markle leads it at the line. Second caution flag of the day. Philip Tringali is involved. And that was very, very quick. It looks like he might continue and he'll be a slow car. So let's see what happened to the 9 of Philip Tringali. So I saw this happening at the bottom of the screen when we were on Tyler Markle's cam. And I saw Paul Sedini go low. And then I saw Robert Rogers go low. And I thought, oh, that's going to be a wreck. Well, I was right. Paul Sedini gets into the 9. But then the 2 just barrels into the 26. That snaps the 9 car loose. And he will hit the wall. He went for a spin. And Eric Powers, Philip Tringali's teammate, barely missing him, but I'm not sure if he actually got a piece of that. Doesn't look like he did, so let's get you back to the green flag. We're back, getting ready to go back green flag racing. Philip Tringali retired. His car ended up blowing up. So 20 drivers left on the racetrack. So Tyler Markle leading it. Max Newworth second, Ryan Kesey third, Connor Breton fourth, Jordan Newman fifth, Sam Rogers sixth, Danny Vaughn seventh, Robert Rogers eighth, Paul Stradini ninth, and Chris Corando in 10th. So nobody pit. Out of the drivers in the top 10, the ones close to Sam Rogers in points are Robert Rogers, and Connor Breton. So I don't believe these 3 are anywhere close to the top 10. Getting ready to go back green. 23 laps racing to go. Can they keep it green? And if I see somebody go 3 wide again, I'm going straight back there because I want to be on top of it. And Chris Corando's way low. So far, so good. As the race for the lead heats up, Max Newworth challenging for the lead. Tyler Markle side by side with Max Newworth. Ooh, Tyler Markle barely got it at the line that time. Newworth to the lead. Connor Breton looking for second now. Connor Breton might be looking for the race lead here. Breton dives it into turn 2. He has to hesitate. Newworth with the advantage. Now here comes Ryan Kesey through turn 3. Jordan Newman behind him. Connor Breton getting the outside run. Kesey having the hold up. Jordan Newman with the advantage. Coming down the straightaway. And this is some great racing when they don't wreck. And Robert Rogers comes out of nowhere. He makes it 3 wide. And he sideswipes into Sam Rogers. Sam Rogers making a smart move there. Not going 3 wide. Robert Rogers gets into him again. Jordan Newman just hitting the wall that time. Now Ryan Kesey's going to look back for his 3rd spot as Max Newworth drives away. Connor Breton second, Ryan Kesey in 3rd. Sam Rogers battling for the top 5 here. He just missed out to Tyler Markle. And that's the ride Sam Rogers will drive next year, is the number 38. So Robert Rogers is going to dive again side by side with the 77. Looking for 6th place, and now Tyler Markle coming in the battle. Look at Danny Vaughn's right side damage. And it's getting crazy up here in the top 10 now. As Max Newworth... Did Max Newworth pit? No, he's way out in front. Eric Powers coming to pit road, and the caution is not out. So something happened to Eric Powers. And now Sam Rogers got in the wall. Dion Scott seems to have gotten in the wall, and they're running crazy around here. So Eric Powers got wrecked somehow, and they're 3 wide right here. Now Dion Scott trying to get a run on the outside. And it's just crazy racing all around here. As Max Newith has driven away, and the battle for second and third continues. Jordan Newman in second now, Connor Breton in third, Kesey fourth, Robert Rogers in fifth. And Robert Rogers looks like he will take fourth spot. Eric Powers has retired from the race, so tough day for him and his son. But Max Newith has a 1.71 second lead, and they're not gaining on him yet because they're still fighting for positions. As Connor Breton's going to look for second, and he had the back out of the throttle on that one, and Jordan Newman will pull away. Now Robert Rogers coming for that third spot. As all of these guys have right side damage, Robert Rogers trying the slide move, not working. Connor Breton going to pull away a little bit here. Paul Sardinia up to 6th. Eric Caralla up to 7th now. As Sardinia looking for a top 5 place here. But right now, Newith drives away, and Breton hits the wall. Rogers diving down. There's Paul Sardinia and Eric Caralla flying up to the front here. And the battle for third is going to rage as now Jordan Newman has separated himself from the pack. Robert Rogers in third at the moment, but Paul Sardinia is coming up here into turn 1. Paul Sardinia will take away third. And it is just a madhouse. Cars looking for third place as Eric Caralla almost got into Paul Sardinia there. And we got third place to like 13th in this little pack here. As Jordan Newman is trying to hunt down the 65 of Max Newworth. Settling it down. Paul Sardinia in third. Eric Caralla fourth. Robert Rogers in fifth. All Chevys here battling for third. They know they got a Ford and a Toyota ahead of them, so they want it to be 3 different makes. Eric Caralla dives it in really deep, but he can't hang on to it, and Sardinia will hold on to third for now. Andrew Rich up here in 7th place. I'm going to take a quick break and be back in a few seconds. We are back, and Paul Sardinia almost got spun out by Eric Caralla. And Eric Caralla is going to take third away, but Paul Sardinia almost lost it and was going to go right into that inside wall. We've seen that happen when other series come here, especially in the DuPont series, World Series of Racing series. They get right to the left rear quarter panel there, and they just wreck right into that. Look how far back Sam Rogers has dropped, all the way to 19th now. Sam Rogers making his way up through the field. He is by far the worst driver of the season, and his average finish is terrible. I'm sure he'd love to get a top 10 here, but right now the top 3 is pretty solidified. Paul Sardinia and Robert Rogers fighting for 4th place. And now Robert Rogers getting in really close to the 26. And we would need a caution before, say, lap, I want to say 28, for them to have a shot of a restart. If they are to wreck, but they're doing a pretty good job. 3 wide back here for 7th, I believe. Andrew Rich, Henry Cavanaugh, Connor Breton 3 wide. Breton backing out. And Breton will lose a lot of positions there. Andrew Rich gets in the wall. Top 6 drivers have meanwhile pulled away and single filed out. Paul Sardinia and Robert Rogers trying to work together here to catch that 4 car. Jordan Newman's slowly been gaining ground on Max Newith, but it's not going to be enough unless they're all drafting. Well, many of these drivers know they want a caution, but a lot of the drivers don't want to be the caution. As it looks like Nicholas Samudio almost lost it, maybe making contact with Cameron Gaddu. And Jordan Newman gaining the 10th on Max Newith that lap time. All these drivers here, 3rd to 6th, bunching it up together, drafting their way up to the front. As these guys are racing here very hard. Sam Rogers may be trying to get back up to the front, but it's just not happening. And 7th on back is one giant pack. It's now Sam York looking for maybe 5th place on Robert Rogers. Jordan Newman still gaining ground, but he's not gaining enough in enough time. And Sam York going right by Robert Rogers here. And Sam York will take 5th. And just look at a lot of these cars have right side damage from getting into that wall coming off of turn 2, I believe it is. But good racing here, definitely, once they get staying green. If they stay green in race, it's pretty good. Eric Carralla still in 3rd, but Paul Sardinia has closed the gap, and he is looking. Sam York gets in the wall. So it's going to be between the 4 and the 26 years. Robert Rogers goes back around the 32 for 5th place. 5 laps to go here today. As now Paul Sardinia is right back on the bumper of the 4 cars. Jordan Newman continues to slowly progress on the 65. And Eric Carralla almost got turned by Paul Sardinia. They diving into turn 2. Side by side, looking for the 3rd place here. Sam York back to 5th again. Still side by side, going into turn 4, coming to 4 to go. Sardinia gets loose. Carralla sticking it on the outside. And he'll stick it in the 3rd for another lap. But that has allowed Sam York to close up on them. Jordan Newman continuing to slowly close up, but I think he's running out of time. If they'd stayed green in the Cup race, they would. If they'd stayed green, they would have all had to pit at some point. Eric Carralla hitting the wall. Paul Sardinia getting a little edge there. Here he comes. Here comes Sam York too. Almost 3 wide, but Sam York second guessed. Then Jordan Newman just went to pit road. Connor Breton going down too. Those 2 had to pit. Does that mean the other drivers are going to pit too? Eric Carralla in 2nd, Sam York 3rd, 4th Paul Sardinia, and 5th is Robert Rogers. Carralla in the wall, Sardinia in the wall too. What is Max Newith going to do? Newith is staying out. So are these guys as Sam York looks to move into 2nd. Carralla with the little outside advantage though, but York gonna cut up in front of him. 2 laps to go. Sean Harpo coming down the pit road though, so some of these guys can't seem to make it. They're risking fuel here. But right now, Newith is in the lead, and it is going to be his win. Sam York looking for his best finish on the season. Currently running 2nd. Carralla now looking for that 2nd as Robert Rogers coming back up here. As they stay out, white flag in the air for Newith. We're going to watch the battle for 2nd and 3rd. Sam York holding off Eric Carralla. Here comes Robert Rogers. 1 more lap to go here at Rockingham. Rogers looking on Carralla. He dives in. He backs out. York gets in the wall. Carralla's going to go by. Robert Rogers is going to go by. Newith will win. Carralla's going to get 2nd. Sam York with 1 last effort, but Robert Rogers is going to come home 3rd. Whew! That was a race. Max Newith wins the Subway 300, and we'll see how he does in the Cup race.